Hey guys, this is Dan, aka Stout, and we are here with our VBA Season 2 Week 1 matchup. We are the Alexandria Arcanines, and we are going up against the Worcester Stunfisks. I've been told that's the proper way to pronounce it, not Stunfi. Not sure if I completely agree, but I will respect the coach's wishes, as he did name the team. So let's just look at a quick breakdown of what we're bringing and what we might be expecting our opponent to bring. So on our team, looking at this matchup, Mantine just seemed like an absolute beast, so I wanted to build around Mantine. And I thought Mantine was the weak link for my team at first, until I started playing around with it, and the Pokemon is absolutely nuts. I'm glad that it's on my team, and hopefully I'll get to show it off this week. But to support the Mantine, I decided Tangela is the best support option that I have this week. It's going to be able to redirect attacks from a Pokemon that has a weakness policy trigger, which his team has two very good weakness policy targets. And then a back option of Bronzong and Glastrier seemed like it could be very strong. Now, I considered Torkoal, Venusaur, Koko, Thievul, Behemoth, Goodra for the last spot. Not really Frostmoth. Frostmoth wasn't having a good time this week. But the one that I think ended up fitting best out of this group was Goodra for the game plan, and then I brought Torkoal as an additional Trick Room option in the back. Venusaur, Koko, Thievul, and Behemoth are going to have to wait for another week for their debut. Now, out of my opponent, I really expect him to have Goggles on the Inteleon to Aqua Jet into the Colossal. And then I also think that Volcarona matches up decently well into my team. I don't really expect Lopunny, Ice-Q, or Stunfisks, although I could see a world in which he does bring Stunfisk if he recognizes the threat of Mantine, but Mantine actually has a decent Stunfisk matchup, surprisingly. Now, what I think I might see, I could see Slurpuff, Toxicroak coming if he decides that Slurpuff is the better weakness policy target, and he decides to Bullet Punch it with the Toxicroak. Zoroark from Mind Games. Mimikyu matches up decently into my team. I've got a couple tech options for it. And then Tapu Bulu, I could see coming because his team is very specially built and doesn't have a lot of physical attackers, and my team is very specially bulky, so he might bring Bulu to bring a physical attacker. But it doesn't have the best matchup into my team. Like, if he expects Venusaur to come, Bulu dies to that, and then a lot of things get Sludge Bomb, which you'll see in these Pokemon breakdowns. So the first thing we're going to look at is the Glastrier. It's pretty simple set, except it's Adamant instead of Brave, so it goes to 35 stat at level 50, which is important because of the Bronzong. The Glastrier has a weakness policy on it. The Bronzong can trigger the weakness policy, and min speed, it goes down to 34. So in Trick Room, Bronzong will be faster than Glastrier. It can Rock Tomb it to drop its speed and trigger weakness policy. The Bronzong set has Trick Room, Ally Switch, and Power Swap. Power Swap is the most interesting move on this set. It's a backup option against what I imagine is a weakness policy heavy team, because if I'm able to set up Trick Room, Bronzong will be the slowest thing on the field, and then I can Power Swap away the weakness policy boost. This Tangela is going to be the MVP this week. It's Focus Sash because his team is very specially aggressive, and even with an Eviolite, it wasn't really surviving many special hits. But Rage Powder and Sleep Powder, Protect, and then Sludge Bomb to hit Bulu if Bulu shows up, or either of the other fairies, as he does have a triple fairy comp. Chlorophyll on it is very nice because there are some times where the sun does get set in this matchup, and then Chlorophyll makes Tangela the fastest thing on the field. My boy Mantine. Mantine is going to crush it this week if it's able to come out. Hydro Pump Hurricane is going to put on a lot of offensive pressure. Tailwind just gives me the option to get that set up if that's what I need. And then Wide Guard, again, this is me hedging my bets against Bulu because the Charty Berry lets me live one rock attack from the Colossal, but if Bulu has Rock Slide and it's Scarfed, that's a way he could try to eke out an RNG advantage, and Wide Guard just shuts that down. Goodra's also outside shot for Secret MVP. It's an Assault Vest set. It's incredibly specially bulky. If he doesn't have a physical attacker, he's not breaking this thing. And Sludge Bomb, Mud Shot for the Colossal, Draco Meteor, and then Muddy Water to potentially set Weather as a max move and also to hit the Volcrona, which Goodra is my best option to it, although Mantine also is pretty good against Volcrona. And then the last Pokemon we're going to look at is the Torkoal, which has Charcoal for Eruption and Burning Jealousy to deal max damage, Protect, and then a Solar Beam set because I think Inteleon threatening Torkoal could be something that happens, but I'm pretty sure I live most of Inteleon's attacks initially, and then I'd be able to KO back with the Solar Beam and the Sun. But with that being said, I'm just going to cut away, and when I come back, we'll be into the battle. So in game 1, I see that my opponent has Ice-Hue and Lopunny on their team, and those two really stand out for me because they were not things that I was expecting going into this match. I know Lopunny has the potential to threaten Mantine, which I expect to be very good this match because it has access to both Thunder Wave and Thunder Punch, and also Cute Charm, which can be a bit annoying, but I still think Mantine is a very solid lead, especially because I don't see the Unburdened Slurpuff, which carrying Thunderbolt was potentially the biggest threat to Mantine. So I'm very comfortable leading Mantine Tangela here, and then just having Bronzong Glastrier in the back as a way to pick up additional KOs after Mantine puts a chunk in the team. At least that's the initial plan going into it. I'm sort of hesitating a bit at this point because I'm kind of strongly debating using Goodra instead of Mantine for this matchup, given that Goodra also has a very solid matchup into Volcarona and Colossal, but I think Mantine gain 1 is the way to go. So what I'm hoping to see is an Inteleon Colossal lead or something with Volcarona. And if either of those happen, I'll feel like I'm in a very good position. If it's an unorthodox lead, there's a chance that I'm out of position at the beginning. So we see Lopunny and Volcarona coming out first, which kind of scares me a bit with the Mantine, but I think I can pretty safely launch a Max Geyser into the Volcarona spot and Rage Powder, although I do expect the Tangela to go down this turn, which is unfortunate, but it's a Tangela in front of a Volcarona. It's going to go down. That's sort of its job this turn. And then after that, it becomes a bit more of a maneuvering situation. But I just think the Max Geyser will also give me the Swift Swim bonus, which is what I went with instead of Water Absorb, as a way to give Mantine a form of speed control outside of Max Airstream. And a Dynamaxing Volcarona is about as good as it's going to get for me this turn. If it Max Flares, the Geyser's not going to do a lot, then the next Geyser will knock it out. And if it Max Bugs, the special attack drop will hurt Mantine moving forward, but it will not be enough to prevent a 2-hit KO. So I'm very happy with positioning here. I'm just going to be launching my Rage Powder. Oh, and Lopunny has Fake Out, and if they Fake Out into Lopunny and then attack into the Mantine, that's fine, because Mantine's not taking damage from Volcarona. There's a crit. This game is an RNG Fiesta, starting with the first attack at it being a crit. But that one didn't matter, because this was going to KO from anywhere, because I'm not running a Violite. So I lose special attack, which is a bit unfortunate in the long run, but I am able to just launch a pretty powerful Max Geyser that I am quite happy about. That is the range. That range tells me that I should still be able to pick up the KO with an additional Max Geyser in the rain. And if he's planning on surviving with a Max Bug or a Max Flare to set the sun, I am now going to be faster than the Volcarona because of the rain boost. So I'm happy with this position because Volcarona is going to go down and I should be able to set up Trick Room, which is a big deal for my late game because Glastrier is what it is. scouting for a couple moves here because I do have Ally Switch and also Power Swap. And so those are options that I'm considering at this point as well, just to try to throw off the targeting in case this Lopunny does have something. And in the long run, that's probably the correct play here, because this Lopunny having, you know, a Thunder Punch or a form of speed control for this Volcarona would be very annoying, and I can probably get Trick Room up safely next turn, because I just need to take out the Volcarona. So Volcarona going down is very nice. I've got one more turn of Dynamax. I am at -1, and Mantine isn't the strongest thing in the world. And then this Switcheroo, you know, isn't going to be a huge deal at this point in time. So here I'm trying to figure out what he could have in the back that would still threaten me, and I'll be honest, I don't know what this Ice Cube does. At least at this point in the game, I didn't know what it was going to do. I thought a special variant with something like Freeze Dry could actually be fairly well positioned right now into Mantine. And this Lopunny having Switcheroo doesn't really scare me, because now I know Fake Out Switcheroo. So I think it doesn't have an electric type attack, or it probably would have launched it one of those two turns, because Switcheroo doesn't really do much in that position. I see it has quick attack now, so there's only one attack I'm missing. I get ejected, which the Switcheroo eject button quick attack is very nice, and I will have trouble setting up Trick Room because of that. Like, that's good tech into Bronzong, because Mental Herb Bronzong sort of walled the team. Especially Heat-Proof Bronzong, because it doesn't go down to fire type attacks. So yeah, Mantine's obviously very weak right now. And at -1, that doesn't do a whole lot, even in the rain, to Ice Cube. But I'm okay with leaving the Lopunny alive. It doesn't pressure my team anymore. Like Switcheroo, yeah, you can give the Mental Herb to something, and it would be annoying to lose the weakness policy, but I'm not planning on proccing it anytime soon on the Glastrier. And here I have the decision between a Hydro Pump at 100% accuracy and a semblance of damage, or a Hydro Pump and a semblance of damage, or Hurricane, 100% accuracy, and the potential for confusion. So that's a bit of a balancing act. And then I see the full set, Helping Hand. This Lopunny's not a threat on the field except for Helping Hand. Hydro Pump, I get off. It gets a decent chunk on this Lopunny, and I'm okay with leaving it there for the foreseeable future. Head Smash missing is very unfortunate for them, but now I know there's Head Smash, which terrifies me because I'd completely forgotten that Ice Cube could run Head Smash. So, looking at the way to play this, I could try to get Bronzong in and go for Ally Switch Mind Games because I revealed it early, so then they have to play around it, and then potentially try to set up Trick Room. I could see now that it's in the No Ice form if Hydro Pump is enough to take it out, or I could believe that I'm able to just body a No Ice Helping Hand Head Smash, which I might be able to do actually. My calcs there weren't fantastic. So we've had one miss and one crit so far. Hurricane does damage. Attacks are coming out into the Glastrier. I feel very good about the Protect there. And the rain stops. So now Mantine's accuracy has the potential to hurt it because it doesn't have Hurricane completely accurate in the rain. And I expect another Head Smash into that slot. So instead of putting Bronzong in for Mantine and resetting Mantine's special attack, I sort of want to sack the Mantine, get Trick Room up with Bronzong, and sweep with Glastrier in the late game. So at this point, the Switcheroo, I believe he actually just gave the item back to the Bronzong, which is fine. Charty Berry gets revealed here, So Head Smash isn't going to do a huge amount to Mantine, considering. And that recoil, like, that's a recoil KO. I live with that. Hydro Pump miss. There's another thing of RNG. So I've had some RNG in my favor and RNG against my favor. And now I've got to figure out how to clean up Mimikyu in the late game. Mimikyu can probably take out this Bronzong because it's very specially invested, but I still have to go for Trick Room here. And then just launch Hydro Pumps because they're my most accurate attack, and try to break the thing on the Mimikyu so that Glastrier is able to clean it up in the late game. And that's basically the plan here. Helping Hand, Shadow Claw should take out the Bronzong. And it does. And that crit actually might have mattered. So another thing of RNG, we were at multiple crits, multiple misses. There's another miss. That was a bad turn for me. I'm not gonna lie, that was a bad turn with the crit and the miss. I'm much less confident in my position because Mimikyu can carry Will-O-Wisp, which would hurt this Glastrier, and I don't know if Glastrier is able to OHKO it with Will-O-Wisp, and then the combination of getting a Shadow Claw, Quick Attacks, and Will-O-Wisp chip damage might be able to take down the Glastrier if they focus it. So I want to protect here to try and break the thing again. Quick Attack comes into Mantine, good play there. And then that goes into the Glastrier, so I just need to break the ability here. Oh wait, I set Tailwind, so I move first with Mantine, then I try to break the ability. So, Glastrier and Mantine. I could also hope for a Will-O-Wisp miss. Like, that's an option that could happen. Quick Attack into Mantine again. I'm not sure if I agree with the targeting that time, because Glastrier is the bigger threat. Like, Mantine at -1 isn't going to do a lot to this team. But I am able to finally hit with a Hydro Pump. And then Will-O-Wisp will burn me because I am not a Lumberry set. I considered Lum this week, and it might have been correct. And I likely will run it in the future. But now I'm just one Smart Strike away, and I've got to hope that they don't do enough chip damage to me, basically, to take out the Glastrier. I haven't seen a Protect out of the Mimikyu yet, which would be the best play here. So I'm debating attacking into the Lopunny as well, because protecting Mimikyu is correct. But if I misread a Protect on Mimikyu, then I also lose. So, if he's able to bait me into reading Protect, then obviously not protecting is correct. Quick Attack doesn't quite take it out, but Hydro Pump isn't going to do a huge amount of damage to anything. But it is a crit. And there's another RNG, this time in my favor. So now I'm feeling pretty good because that Mimikyu didn't get a Shadow Claw off. So at this point, I'm just going to be going for Icicle Crashes to try to take this thing out. And Mantine, it has to just blind Hurricane because, you know, why not? Quick Attack takes out the Mantine because a crit. RNG Fiesta. But I'm able to clean it up with Glastrier, and Glastrier just being what it is going to be fine, because Quick Attack's not going to take it out from here. And now I know the Lopunny's entire set, I'm not scared of it threatening Glastrier, and I'm going to be able to leave it on the field this game and in all future matches if I try to late game Glastrier as cleanup. I do like the switcheroo to determine the item on the Glastrier, seeing the weakness policy, but I am just able to take it out with 100% accuracy move. So yeah, that's game 1, and I will see you guys back for game 2. So in game 2, I want to audible into the Goodra mode instead of the Mantine mode, because I expect him to have some sort of counterplay for the Mantine, sort of expect what it can do, and then the Goodra is an unknown entity. And Assault Vest Goodra, with what I've seen so far, just sort of walls his entire team except the Ice Cube, and I'm okay with that. So Goodra, Tangela is probably my lead, and then Bronzong, Glastrier seems like, you know, just the most solid back that I could possibly have. My Trick Room mode, it doesn't need to be a hard Trick Room team. I can play a fast game up front and then transition into a Trick Room late game, and it really makes speed control hard for my opponent, which is something that I tried to leverage this match. So up here we see the Lopunny and the Volcarona again, and now I've got a thought to make. Is he going to fake out and bug into the Tangela again, or is he going to switcheroo and target into the Goodra? And if he does that, then I'll still get... He won't be able to target the Goodra straight away unless he Heat Waves, which would be just an absolute baller play, and I would accept that. So I think I'm willing to risk the switcheroo set to get that Goodra set up, and potentially set the rain up to cripple this Volcarona in the long run. Volcarona was probably the thing on this team I was most scared of, either as a setup variant or as a max variant. It's got not great coverage, but coverage that works well into my team. Max Bug is annoying, and then Max Flare hits a lot of things. Volcarona protecting is basically worst case scenario for me, because now I know that I'm getting switcherooed. And I'm about to have a bad day. I'm going to get one Dynamax attack this game, because I'm going to get quick attacked after this. But at least that Lopunny has the Assault Vest. At least that was my thought process at that time, because I forgot that Lopunny could also have Clutch instead of Cute Charm, which means the Assault Vest they can still switcheroo off and cripple the Tangela that way. This Lopunny's putting in work, I'm not gonna lie, like, it's... I was not expecting it, and it came out and was very good. So, I can't protect here because I don't have it. If I could, I'd probably try to Sleep Powder the Lopunny, but yeah. Rage Powder to redirect to Quick Attack, and maybe he doesn't go for Heat Wave. But it's a bit worse because I just get the Assault Vest on the Tangela, and Heat Wave does literally 10 damage if I'm remembering, but I get eject buttoned out. And my Dynamax is gone, so I've got a different game to play now. The first part of this game is what to do about Volcarona. And the answer to that is set up Trick Room, because he can't stop it anymore. Because not only is this a heat-proof Bronzong, it's Bronzong in the rain, and I just wanted to see if the Assault Vest was, yeah, it was bad. But Trick Room here, and then I've got Power Swap on this Bronzong for situations like if this Volcarona tries to set up. But once I'm able to get Trick Room, I can kind of underspeed the rest of his team, so that would let me outspeed it in Trick Room, and I'll just have 5 turns to, basically I've got to go for a Glastrier win, so I've got 5 turns to position Glastrier correctly. So instead of sacking the Tangela here, I want to preserve the Tangela, assume he doesn't go for something stupid into the Bronzong, and put the Goodra in to threaten some damage. So that could have gone much worse if that went into Bronzong and crit, but even helping-handed, like, Goodra's just so bulky even without that Assault Vest. Now I'm in Trick Room, so I can just start launching Muddy Waters, which was my water attack of choice to threaten Volcrono with the Goodra. And I think after watching that, if I Power Swap this Volcrona, then Helping Hand Bug Buzz doesn't take down the Goodra, which is a small victory, and I'll get another Muddy Water off. You can't launch too many Muddy Waters, except if they start missing. And then that would make this RNG Fiesta Part 2, which would make me very sad. So here, I'm not exactly sure what my opponent's best play would be. I assume he's got Mimikyu in the back because he sort of needs it. Protecting with Volcrona is a little annoying, especially if I'm able to connect on Muddy Water. Like, it's not going to do anything but stall out Trick Room turns, because Muddy Water's not going to do a lot to Lopunny. And, you know, Switcheroo here, I don't feel horrible about. Nothing's getting Assault Vested that shouldn't be Assault Vested anymore. The items are all pretty interchangeable because he doesn't seem to have Taunt. As long as I don't lose it on the Glastrier, because a Weakness Policy Glastrier seems like it could still be decent. Switcheroo, like, this Lopunny's just a quick attack bot. He should probably switch it out to get it back in for a fake out later, but it's very out of position now, and that was sort of my plan for this match. Was my opponent was going to have a harder time switching than I was, so I can put his Mons out of position, so switching something in is always bad, and grind down a good position. That's probably not going to do much, but because I am running basically min attack on Bronzong, I'm running 0 IVs, not a negative nature because I have the negative speed nature for Trick Room, but I could see that actually hurting this Ice Q's plans in the long run. So here, I don't know what I want to hit and end things with, like, probably Draco Meteor is correct because I expect this Goodra to go down relatively soon, but Sludge Bomb could also be decent. It's the positioning, I feel like I have the advantage, but hitting with Goodra didn't feel right there. This feels like a good switch in because I don't think he's going to head smash into that position, and even if he does, I've heard it with the thing, Power Swap. Yes, I know moves and am good at this game. So here I'm able to get the Glastrier in, and I'm very happy with getting Glastrier in. Especially getting the Rock Tomb off to make it the fastest thing in Trick Room now, and give it double attack. Now if Head Smash comes in here, I'm going to be very upset. But that is not Head Smash. That's not going to do a lot, even with Helping Hand. And now Glastrier feels like it's in a very good position to start acquiring knockouts, which is sort of what it does in Trick Room. Like, I've got an attack into the Ice Cube because the threat of Head Smash with Helping Hand could be enough to chip Glastrier low enough that it's not able to pick up this game, and he just still has a Dynamax option, so I don't feel great here if he's able to freely get in Volcrona, which is why I have to keep targeting into his slots to prevent that. So what I need to dodge here is this Ice Cube KO in the Glastrier. And he ran into an ally switch, which didn't happen. Which is fortunate for me, because now I don't think he can't switch in the Volcarona safely because he needs to max it. I guess he could max the Mimikyu, and that's actually probably correct. But neither of them can switch in safely here because he doesn't know what I'm going to be targeting, and this is why my position is so good here. I can just leave these two on the field and set another thing of Trick Room if I want to. Because it's not really like he can stop me, because he has to know that this Ice Cube goes down unless he does something about it. So I imagine he's considering a swap in here, but Helping Hand and hope that I make a mistake seems like it might be his play. Yeah, hope that Trick Room doesn't go back up, basically. And then Smart Strike to get the KO. Like, he hoped for the headbutt thing. I can respect that play. Yeah, it's the correct play in the situation, because Trick Room goes up again. He's going to be in for a bad day, because now I've got a +3 Glastrier. And, you know what does a lot of damage? A +3 Glastrier. And in Trick Room, it's now the fastest thing again, and it's going to hit something really hard. Like, his best play is probably bring in Mimikyu, max it, eat the Rock Tomb that would come into it, and then hope that he's able to put enough damage onto the Glastrier that something can finish it off. I don't know. I feel like he's in a bad position, even though he still has Dynamax and I don't. Because this high horsepower is taking this Volcrona's lunch money. There's no way around it. Like, Glastrier bodies Volcrona at +3. I don't care if it Dynamaxes. I mean, I'm kind of scared of clicking it, but I don't care if it Dynamaxes. It does not like this hit. And I still have Tangela and Goodra in the back, and Tangela has Sludge Bomb, which is oddly relevant here, because out of Trick Room, it could pick up a KO on Mimikyu in the late game if I needed to. Okay, so here he gets in the Mimikyu, and now I think maxing the Mimikyu is the correct play, because I'm going to high horsepower again into the Volcrona, and then Rock Tomb to break the Mimikyu's disguise. So if you max the Mimikyu, you'll deal the most damage, and you'll still have Dynamax Mimikyu left. Here just switching to Lopunny is fodder, because now Glastrier goes up to +4. And +4 Glastrier hits everything in the game. There's nothing that wants that hit. Nobody wants it. Like, even if it burns here, nobody wants that. And Will-O-Wisp would have been a much better play there, because then maybe he can max the Volcrona and survive a hit from the Glastrier. But +4 unburned Glastrier, yeah, something's about to have a really bad day, because the disguise is broken on Mimikyu, so he's got to hope that I attack the thing, that he maxes the thing that I don't attack, so he's able to kill Glastrier. That's his hope. He's got to read correctly, and hope that I do that, and then hope that whatever's left, or if he protects both of them, can get through Goodra, Tangela in the back, which is easier said than done. Like, Mimikyu can probably get through Goodra, but he's still going to have a bad day about it. So we get the big bug, and, you know, sometimes you just gotta step on bugs. And it is what it is, because Glastrier is going to do that. He does get the burn on Glastrier. Flame Body does burn Glastrier, which is unfortunate, but it doesn't matter because Mimikyu can't Dynamax, and Glastrier is now +5, which is basically +2.5 with the burn, which is still enough with Smart Strike to end this Mimikyu's existence. And that power swap guarantees that Mimikyu's Shadow Claw is not enough to take out the Glastrier. It is still enough to take out the Bronzong. So here I'm confident that I can just clean up this game with Glastrier. So just a couple closing thoughts on this match. I think my opponent prepped and played really well, especially considering I think his team had a really hard time with Goodra Mantine, and I think he played very well around it to make me rely on Glastrier Bronzong. But speaking of that, Glastrier Bronzong it's just nuts. I feel very good about it. But I'm very excited to keep playing in this league. I'm playing against the Meltan Nuts next week. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.